Okay, guys, here we are. It's the autumn wind playoff game it's the Battle of New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints against the New Orleans VooDoo. The VooDoo get the ball first, so the Saints won and decided to defer, and we're ready to roll. Let me see if I should share this out. Live link, see if anybody wants to join me. Looking past the Latavius Murray on first down. There's a man in the zone, but the coverage linebacker was blitzing or double teaming, so it's a receiver reading wrong. Picks up 11 and a first down. The VooDoo are led by Cam Newton. That's Butch's team. It's got Latavius Murray in the backfield, Kamar Aiken, Robert Woods, and Allen Robinson is his big weapon on offense. The tight end's Larry Donnell. Off tackle draw right to Latavius Murray. Picks up 4 yards. That makes it 2nd and 6. So interesting, Butch is going 3 wide here, trying to get Gene, the coaches, by the way, Butch Stramick is the coach of the New Orleans VooDoos. Jean Lefleur is the coach of the New Orleans Saints, which is appropriate since the Saints have a fleur-de-lis on their helmets. Short pass to Kamar Aiken. So he's trying to get him to commit to a three-man front on the defensive line. Guessed right, 3 men in zone, 11-yard gain. But Jean has gone to a 4-3 as a way to combat that, which, he's going back and forth between a 4-3 and a 3-3-5. The 3-3-5 means his nose tackle is going to be a 4, and run right to Latavius Murray. Look out for the wide die 1 here. Nope, goes for 12 yards and another first down. So Butch is rolling right down the field. The VooDoo has good defense. So they have the good cards. They play a base 3-4. The Saints have average good. So both teams are pretty even, aside from the difference in the run. Spreading them out. Off tackle draw right to Latavius Murray. 0, guessed wrong. Guessed wrong goes for 4 yards. So that's 2nd and 6 now. 12 minutes to go in the first quarter. The VooDoo are creeping into field goal range. Short pass to Kamar Aiken. It's a run call. Guessed wrong on Cam's card, goes for 16. That's one of the challenges. Cam was the MVP in the NFL last year. He didn't have a high completion percentage. He did a lot of his damage on the run by running the ball. So Strat's a little bit limited in that. The card, they try to make the card to reflect that completion percentage. Long pass to Allen Robinson, 0 men in zone, guessed wrong. And they do a good job of that. But his card is undercarded for what you'd consider an MVP candidate to be. We're waiting for the results. Guessed wrong on Cam's card, incomplete. So he's got a lot of must runs on his card, which means you can throw deep and even short, hoping to get one of those must runs, because his must run results are pretty good. But he has a lot of blanks, just a lot of blanks. So he's going to miss more often than not. A short pass to Robert Woods on 2nd and 10, 4 men in zone, guessed right. But there's some hits there too, like plus 13. I think really what people don't like is Cam's flat card. Look at this flat card. You can take a quick peek at it. Guessed right flat. He only has hits on 5, 3, and 10, aside from the receiver readings. 1st and goal at the 9. So let's stop lamenting about how poorly Cam was carded, because he's moved his team right down the field in an autumn wind playoff game and has them on the verge of taking the lead. First and goal at the 9. End run right to Murray. There's a man there, guessed wrong. Picks up 2. So with Murray as your running back, you're not going to get as many run calls as you might, but they will be mixed in because people are worried about Cam doing his end runs. So you can get some guess wrong short passes to go along with the guess right must runs. So he can be effective in the red zone. Looking back on that previous play that got the ball down here, that had a 19% or 16% chance of a sack, and the random was 19. So that was very nearly a sack, although it was still a low percentage chance. But that random roll was pretty low, pretty close to it. So 2nd and 7, 2nd and goal at the 7, and run right again to Latavius Murray. Guessed wrong, 0-man in zone. We've heard about the dreaded 5. That was the dreaded 11. 11 guess wrong gets you nothing. That would have been a touchdown on 6. Got you really close on 7 or 8. Touchdown also at 2, 4, and 12. So now we're at 3rd and 7. 3 wide. Maybe we'll see a Cam Newton end run, or look for a short pass and try to hit a must run reading. I think he'll get a touchdown here on like 2 through 7 on his must run card. Not showing blitz. Let's look at the pass rush matchup. The pass blocking goes 4, 7, 3, 5, 3. So there's some chance for some sacks, but Jean has 3, 3, 5, and 4. No, sorry. He's playing no, so he's playing a 3-3-5. So his defensive tackles are 5 in this set, and the ends are 3 and 4. So he doesn't have a lot of pass rush there to help. Short pass to Larry Donnell, single cover guarded by a 5, 4-man in zone. So must runs in play here. It is a must run. It goes for 6 yards down to the 1. So I was wrong. It wouldn't have been a touchdown 2 through 7. It would have only been a touchdown 2 through 6. But you get 4th and goal at the 1, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Butch is going to go for it here. With Cam, now think about it in real life. You have Cam Newton as your quarterback. You're on the 1st and goal on the 1. You just run a sneak, and you're going to get in like 70, 80% of the time. Matt Jones joins Latavius Murray and Jesse James in the backfield. It's going to be a run to somebody. I don't think he's going to throw it here, especially with 2 5s on his main targets. His inside linebacker is a 4-4, so that sneak up the middle or linebuck to one of the halfbacks is going to go. Oh, he does throw a short pass to Jesse James. Butch says, "Watch me whip, watch me nay-nay." And Cam is doing the dab and the Superman in the end zone. Nice call, Butch. Had me fooled. So, strong drive to start the game. A quarterback sneak there would not have made it, I don't think. Extra points up and good. It's good on 2 through 10. So it's 7-0. VooDoo take the lead. He's doing that VooDoo that you do. 1st and 10 now at the 20. Now let's set up the Saints offense. The Saints are led by Alex Smith. They have Julian Edelman, him of the crazy catch in the Super Bowl. Marquise Wilson's got a pretty strong card, high average. Jordan Reed, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. His card is really good too, has double team completions. And James Stark is his running back, recently cut by the Packers. Off tackle right to Starks. No man in zone, picks up 5. Starks, the only problem with Starks is he has a tendency to fumble. I don't know how many he had in the regular autumn win season, but you see his fumble number there is 30. Guessed wrong. So 2nd and 5, Saints out to their own 25. That drive ate up a lot of clock. Linebacker to Alex Smith. Interesting call. Smith was guessed wrong there, but he only picked up a yard. It's a significant yard, though, because it breaks containment. So 3rd and 4. Smith is an excellent flat passer, but this card in this set, very good short passing as well. We're going to a pro set here with Mike Tolbert and Terrence West. Tolbert has a fantastic guessed wrong card. West is not the card of last year, but it's still pretty decent guessed wrong. If you try to key on Tolbert, you can get some good numbers there. Look into Jordan Reed. One man in zone, guess wrong, picks up 9, first down. Solid call there by the flower, Jean Lafleur. So here we go, 1st and 10 at the 35. Back to a blocking back halfback set with Starks in the backfield. Tolbert leading the way with a 6 pass blocker. You have 4-4, 4-4, 5-7, short gain for 19 yards on a flat pass to Jordan Reed. Nice call there as the linebacker had vacated the zone. No, there was a linebacker there. It must have been a white die 6, right? Oh no, it was just the line. It was just a 5 white die against a 4 rated linebacker. Off tackle right to Starks. Guessed right, still picks up 6, but look at that fumble number, goes up from 30 to 57. So that means it's a 5.7% chance of fumbling. Back to that line after the 5-7 center, you have 5-2 right guard and 4-7. So you have a couple 7s up there for pass blocking, but you do have a couple of weak spots. Tackle and guard and the 5-2 right guard. So if he's bringing the free safety blitz, he can get some sacks there. So 2nd and 4. Long pass to Philip Dorsett. Guessed wrong, defender X or long gain. That's a long gain. That's a touchdown. The Saints strike back using a big play. Alex Smith hooks up with rookie Philip Dorsett, and he finds the end zone. 40-yard touchdown. Butch had called run and had brought the free safety up to a different zone. So a good call, and as Jean says, lucky too. I keep going back and forth between Jean and Jean. Jean Lafleur or Jean Lafleur. That's one of those two. So forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. So there we go. 1st and 10 is a touchback on the kickoff, even though we didn't see it because I have the animation on. I like the animation. Doesn't affect the other coaches, but I will miss plays because I'm just a spectator. Long pass to Kamar Aiken. One man in zone, guessed right. It's a 6 free safety back there. Yards. There was an 18% chance of a sack, but Byron Bell held off Timmy Jernigan. So 2nd and 7. Butch goes back to his 3 wide. Lots of 4s there on the defensive side for Jean. Short pass to Allen Robinson. Guessed right, 4 men in zone, incomplete. Robinson and I guess he's the only one. Robinson has the double team completions. Look at that. Even if you got the guy doubled with a free safety, he can still make a play on a receiver reading. 3rd and 7. VooDoo looking to keep this drive alive. You might see a little bit more double teaming here since you can take away Cam's must runs. We saw how effective it was on that 3rd and goal from the 7 earlier. You got a 6-yard must run that set up that 4th and 1 touchdown pass. Short pass to Robert Woods. He's being doubled by Cromartie, so he's doubled by the extra DB. It's a true double team, and it's incomplete. So it's 4th and 7 now, and the VooDoo will punt. That was incomplete, even if it was just guessed right. 47-yard punt to the number 2 returner, and that is who's it? This is not good. I might be locked up here. That usually happens when my animation logs behind. So let's close it real quick. We don't want a solution. We just want to get back in. So the Saints take over. I think my screen will sync up once they do a play. There you go. So looks like they picked up one first down, and now on their first down play, it was incomplete. So 2nd and 10 out to the 39. Missed a couple plays there, and I apologize for that. First quarter, 3:18 to go. The Saints matched the VooDoo's opening touchdown drive with a touchdown drive of their own. Then they got a 3 and out, and now they're driving. They decided to do a little VooDoo themselves and go 3 wide with James Starks in the backfield. Looking past the Starks, incomplete. That'll be 3rd and 10. It's a long pass. Receiver reading, but he was double teamed on 3rd and 10, and that'll force the Saints to pass or to punt. "50-yard punt down to the number 2 back." So we had 2 touchdown drives followed by 2 drives where the other team forced to punt. Now the VooDoo switch it up. They go from 3 wide to a base formation, blocking back, halfback. Jesse James is the blocking back. Murray is the halfback. 2:24 to go in the quarter. Looking past to Murray, single covered. There's a forward linebacker there. Maybe we'll see Butch try to take some shots at those 4 linebackers, but look at that guest right card for Cam. It's, it's tough sledding there. 9 units of guest right completion. That ain't good. 2nd and 6. He stays in that formation. But then again, you get the white die 6 on the D card. Even with a 4 or 5, you got that linebacker and zone reading that is usually going to be favorable for you. Short pass to Kamar Aiken. He's being double covered by the linebacker, and it's intercepted. Correct double team call, and the Saints pick it off and take it down to the 6-yard line where it's popped out by the Packers, but the Saints jump on it, and they'll take over. 1st and goal to 6. It's a nice double team call there by the Saints defensive coordinator. And this is what usually wins playoff games. Turnovers, big plays, and penalties and injuries. But there ain't no penalties and there ain't no injuries in Autumn Wind. So big plays and turnovers. And we got our first one here. Short pass to Julian Edelman, single covered, 3-man in zone as the free safety is covering one of the backs. It's incomplete though. Alex Smith can't connect. Alex Smith can also end run pretty nicely. I think he has a limited number of those. Smith is on fire so far, 3 of 7 for 68 yards. Get that long 40-yard touchdown. He's got 5 end runs. So Shane Drawn checks into the backfield. Maybe this is to get him to call pass because he's not a great runner. Sean Drawn, not Shane, Sean. He can do a little bit of end run, guess wrong, but guess right, he's terrible. It is to get him to call run, and then he passes it. Short pass to Jordan Reed. Quick touchdown after the turnover, and it is a 14-7 lead for the Saints. So big play there. Nice Big momentum swing. Still waiting for the kickoff. Unless we're locked up again. Yeah, I think we are. I'm going to have to turn off my animation or something. So we'll close this, open it up again. A lot of times this it's due to memory leakage issues. Let's get back in there. So after the kickoff, Butch takes over. Let me guess. I think he took over at his 15-yard line and had a sack or negative play, and it's now 3rd and 15. So, man, the Saints are pouring it on offensively, or defensively, I should say. So we missed a couple plays again. I think what I need is a quick reboot. I should have rebooted before this game started. Let me close out these Excel programs. Problem? Butch asks. No, just my wife talking to me. Hey, we've all been there before as strat coaches. Kids, wife, the dog. That's just life. It interrupts you from time to time. So this could be a big play here. You don't want to fall behind too far. Long pass to Kamar Aiken, single covered, one-man end zone. Malcolm Jenkins covering Allen Robinson, and it's a defensive back in zone X or plus 29. The XDB that was pulled out is not the same rating as the free safety who was doubling Robinson. So Malcolm Jenkins is a 6'6", but he had an extra DB in the game and pulled him back. That was Antonio Cromartie. He was the only one covering the long pass zone, and Kamar Aiken was also covered by a 4. So big play there. Off tackle draw right to Murray instead of having to punt it away. And it's another example. If he had been throwing short there, you say, oh, don't go deep too much. That's too aggressive. If he had been throwing short there, 9 is an interception split. So sometimes that extra aggressiveness pays off. So 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard run by Murray. The Saints stay in their base 4-3, even though the VooDoo go 3 wide. Flat pass right to Murray. There's a 4 linebacker there. So it only picks up 5 guessed right. 1st and 10 out the midfield. Cam Newton's heating up a little bit. 8 of 13. He had that interception, but besides that, he's been really solid. Short pass to Robert Woods. Covered by a 4-man in zone as Gene went to a 3-3-5. It's going to be a dump-off chance, but there is no dump-offs in autumn wind, so it's just what's on the cards. A receiver rating plus 13. It hit on one of Robert Woods' chances. $16 out of 36 chance for a hit there, and it hit one of them. Looking past to Murray, single covered. No, he is not covered. His linebacker's blitzing, but there is a linebacker there. 20% chance of a sack. Roy Miller against Mitch Morse. No sack. Picks up 5 on the quarterback's card. So you see Gene being a little bit more aggressive on the linebacker blitzes, knowing that Newton's flat pass is so bad, but Butch is calling his bluff, throwing it there, hoping to land on the defensive cards. But So far that hasn't happened, but he hasn't been hitting his numbers. Off tackle right to Murray, a run call by the defense. Picks up 3 yards, offensive onside tackle, can't make the block. That's one of the reasons to go 4-3. You lose the ability to double team with the free safety, a 4-3 against a 3-3-5. But if you go 4-3, you can call run without moving the free safety to the line of scrimmage, and you don't have those brackets that come up on 8. 3rd and 2 now, inside field goal range. Butch would like to get more than just a field goal here. He's got Murray in the backfield. He's going to go for a linebacker to Newton. It's guessed right. Zero linebackers in the zone, and it's going nowhere. 0 yards gained. Now, come on, people. Shouldn't Cam Newton have a better guessed right linebacker card? That is ridiculous. An average, normal. I think every quarterback gets that same linebacker card. Come on now. Cam Newton, guessed right? It doesn't matter. He still gets 2 or 3 yards. The kick is up, and the kick is bad. Adam Vinatieri trying to hit from long distance, and the field goal was modified by positive 4 yards, which pushed him out to a tougher range. He was at the 29, so instead of being in the 23 to 32 range, he got pushed out to the 33 to 37 range, and he's only good 2 through 6 and 12 from that distance. So no points there for Butch. Linebacker to Sean Drawn. Nose tackle 0 or +5, and snacks. Damon Harrison makes the play. 2nd and 10. End run left to Alex Smith. Picks up 3 yards, guessed right. 0 linebackers in the zone. The offensive onside guard couldn't make the block. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, another French-Canadian, which you knew that Jean Lafleur had him on his radar at guard. 3rd and 7 now for the Saints. Out to the VooDoo 39, 9:18 to go in the half. 14-7 Saints. They'd love to go up 2 scores here. Short pass to Julian Edelman. Single cover. Defender extra +13. Marcus Peters. His 5 rating makes the play against the white die 5. And it'll bring on a punt. 50-yard punt to the number 2 returner. Sitting there at the 12-yard line, and he calls for the fair catch. Jeremy Ross on the punt return. 1st and 10. Starting at the VooDoo 11, 8:42 to go in the half. Field position is favoring the Saints at the moment, but a bomb or a big end run can shift that in a hurry. End run here to Latavius Murray, picks up 6. So he's got a couple big hits on the edge, +26 on 2, +22 on 4, and long gain on 12. The VooDoo sticking with that 3 wide formation. Not afraid to run Murray out of that either. He's got 8 runs so far for 37 yards. It reduces your run block rating by 1 on your offensive line. So those 4s go to 0s, the 5 goes to a 4, and the 6 goes to a 5. Off tackle draw right against a run call. That's going nowhere. -1, and containment is back in effect. So big call there by Gene. It would have been a 2-yard gain, but the 2 yards is, probably secondary to getting containment back in effect. Which stays 3 wide. Last time we saw Robinson doubled. Cromartie pulled back to cover the deep passing zone. Cromartie's on Woods right now. Long pass, Allen Robinson, single covered with a 6 free safety back there. 35% chance of a sack. Roy Miller against Mitch Morse. This was the best possible sack chance for the Saints, and it is a sack. Down goes Cam. 35% chance of a sack, and it was a random 35 roll. 48-yard punt to the number 2 returner, and that's going to, again, tilt field position towards the Saints as they take it into VooDoo territory to start this drive with 6:54 to go in the half. You got to think next year Edelman might be one of those receivers with double team completions. Some of the catches he made in the postseasons have got to stick in the minds of the Strat-O-Matic folks. Saints go 3 wide. Edelman, Dorsett, Reed, Wilson, and Starks look into Jordan Reed. It's guessed right, zero him in there, but it's incomplete on a receiver reading. Now, I know we play with the empty flat equals wrong rule, but if you have 5 men on the line of scrimmage, that rule is overridden. Saints go back to a blocking back halfback formation. Off tackle right to Starks. Guessed wrong, long gain, 31 yards, down to the 12-yard line. Oh, my. That is the long gain away column. The home on a 7 is probably about the same, but if it had hit one of those edges, that would have been a touchdown. Nice 31-yard run for James Starks. Lucky roll, says Jean. And, you know, he's only ran him through. That was his 3rd run today. I have Starks in Frozen Tundra, and that's a fun card if you hit those edges. 6 minutes to go. Saints looking to go up 2 touchdowns. Short pass to Jordan Reed. Guess wrong. Defender X. Incomplete. As Morgan Burnett's 5 rating makes the play. Remember, Butch has good run defense, good pass defense. So 4-minute zone against the good pass defense is tough to complete. Not quite as tough as the excellent pass defense, but you get my drift. 4 of 11 so far for Smith. Completion percentage is not good, but he's got 2 touchdowns. Another run call, 4-minute zone, and it's picked off. What did I say about the 4-minute zone good pass defense? It's tough to complete it, and you land on that 9. 2 through 7 and 12 is an interception split. Alex Smith's forte is throwing flats, at least historically in his career. If Jean would have been throwing a flat on that last pass, it would have been a receiver reading. Of course, we can do that on every play. Second guess, ifs and buts, candies and nuts, and all that good stuff. 14-7 VooDoo. So they dodge a bullet there with a nice turnover. We saw this turnover give the Saints the lead. Now maybe the turnover can give the VooDoo some momentum to tie it up. Or pass, 16% chance of a sack as William Goldstein goes against David Bakhtiari. Bakhtiari is going to be a 6'7" next year, folks. But this year he's only a 4'3", and that's an incomplete pass on the receiver reading as Kamar Aiken couldn't haul it in. 2nd and 10, 5:06 to go in the half. In run right to Murray. There's a man there. Offensive onside tackle, +2 or -2. And Byron Bell's 4 rating couldn't make the block. That'll make it 3rd and 12. It's tough moving the ball in this rule set. So any big breaks you get that result in points become that much more meaningful. Game moving along at a nice pace. 4:30 to go in the half. Just as I say it's moving along at a nice pace, it slows down to a crawl. Somebody's being interrupted or thinking. Short pass to Allen Robinson, single covered. 4-minute zone, defender X. He's covered by a 5. Vontae Davis makes the play against the white die 4. And it's another punt. 48-yarder to the number 2 back. 5-yard return for Mark Mariani. So the Saints take over their 39. Their average field position has to be much better than Butch's. I should take a look at that if we get a moment. 1st and 10. Saints, short gain, 20 yards. James Starks with his second big run of the day. We had a 31-yarder and now a 20-yarder. So he's got 4 runs for 62 yards. If you're averaging 15 yards a play, let's keep handing it to Mr. Starks. What do you think? And run to Alex Smith. Offensive onside in, +9 or +4. And that's Mike Tolbert's 6th rating. So that's going to come through every time. 2nd and 1. Just about in field goal range. 3 timeouts and 2:42 left. Matter of fact, I think Gene would be happy if he used up all the clock and finished it off with a score, considering that he gets the ball back first in the second half, or he gets the ball first in the second half. Off tackle right to Tolbert. 18-yard pickup. Nice roll. That'll take it down to 2:24 to go in the half, unless there's a timeout. Oh, I'm sorry, 2:06. 2:06 to go in the half. So one more play to get to the 2-minute warning, and then we'll see how each team handles their timeouts on the other side of that. Sean Drawn checks into the game. Line book to Drawn, guessed wrong, goes nowhere. Left guard can't make the block. That's Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. He's a 4. The white die was a 6, so no yards. So 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 10. If the Saints can pick up a first down without scoring, they need to get it down to the 4-yard line. Drawn stays in. Drawn has 2 runs for 0 yards today. Gets a run call. Nose tackle +5 or +31, picks up 5, and now it's 3rd and 5. The clock runs. Butch doesn't call timeout. He's going to save it for his own possession when he gets the ball back. 3 wide now for the VooDoo. I'm sorry, for the Saints. Kendall Wright comes into the game. Mike Tolbert goes out. Butch is in 3-3-5, not showing blitz. You might see an end run here by Smith. Even with the white die risk, he's hoping he can hit a 2 or a 3. Guessed wrong on Smith's card and take it in. If he would have stayed base, he thought, well, maybe Butch will call run then. So let me go 3 wide to get him off that run call. Or he may be trying to get him to call run, and then he has some guessed wrong passes. It is an in run to Smith. Butch wasn't fooled, picks up 3 yards, guessed right. It was a white die 1, so even if he had called pass, it would have been only 3 yards. So 4th and 2. The Saints will kick a field goal, I'm guessing. Important to go up 2 scores, even though it would be nice to go for it and get the touchdown. Good call, says Gene, and thank you, says Butch. Goskowski kicks it up and through, 17-7. The kick is 8 yards deep to the end zone, and Taiwan Jones says, no, thank you. I'm going to take a knee here. 52 seconds left to go in the half. And remember, the Saints get the ball first. So Butch would like to move the ball down the field and at least try to attempt a field goal. He has Adam Vinatieri, who we saw. It's not too bad on that deep range. Let's take a quick look at it. Incomplete pass on. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a complete pass. Look, stop looking at the field goal, Dennis. Yeah, he's 2 through 6 and 12 out to the 38. That was a long pass to Albert Wilson, guessed right on Cam's card for 29 yards. And now it's game on. He can get that field goal chance to cut it back to a single score game with just a couple more first downs. So nice pull there. We've seen James Starks hit a long gain on a 12, and now we've seen Cam Newton hit a long pass on a 2. So we're doing some edge rolling here. Short pass Allen Robinson, single cover, 4-man in zone, plus 14, another edge number. That takes it just about into field goal range. He needs a few more yards, so he'll call timeout here. He's got 37 seconds left. The ball is at the 37. So 2 plays, he's gotten 44 yards. Got it right down the field. Newton's, like I said, besides that pick, he's having a pretty good game. 12 of 19 for 151. Short pass to Robert Woods, single cover by 4. Butch looking for a must-run hit. Instead, it's a defender X or short gain, and that takes it down to the 20. Now he's not thinking field goal. Now he's thinking 2 more short gains, and I'm in the end zone. First and 10 at the 20. Long pass is still an option here. It's a short pass to Robinson, single cover, guarded by a 5. It's got good hits on the receiver readings there. Oh, we got a sack chance. Roy Miller against Mitch Morse again. We saw this earlier, 32% chance of a sack. And it's not a sack. It's a 22-yard receiver hit on Robinson's card. That is a touchdown. What a drive. That was an MVP-like drive put together by Cam Newton. He goes down the field. Long pass, hit. Short pass, hit. Short pass, hit. Short pass, hit. 4 for 4 on that drive. 29, 44, 64. We had 1 run in there by Latavius Murray. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. That's it. No, it was just all passes. So 20, 17, 37, plus 44, 51, 71 yards in 4 plays. 4 for 4 for 71 yards and a touchdown. That is just about perfect. And the VooDoo needed that. They go from a 10-point lead and having to kick the ball back to the Saints to start the second half, to only trailing by 3. I don't think you're going to see Gene try anything too crazy. He goes flat pass right to Marquise Wilson. No sack chance. Picks up 5, hoping to hit that long gain or maybe a plus 30 on the D card with nobody in the zone. He'll take a timeout, try it again. No, he lets the clock run. So here's the second half kickoff. Let's probably going to take are they going to take a quick break? Maybe, maybe not. Good half, all set. Let's look at the autumn win standings. This is the game between, I believe, I want to say the kickoff goes into 9-yard line. He takes a knee. So let's take a quick look here. Butch was the number 2 seed. So Gene won his first round game. Let's go to the Autumn Wins website. Walking back, halfback, Starks back in the game. It is the number 5 seeded Saints. Long pass to Marquise Wilson, single cover by a 5. Long gain. These guys are hitting big play after big play. Man, and they aren't easy chances either. This is not like rolling an 8 on Peyton Manning's long pass card. They've hit a 3 on Alex Smith's card now, and before that we saw a 2 on Cam Newton's card. But hey, better to be lucky and good. I wouldn't say that was just a lucky hit. That was, your quarterbacks have talent. Linebuck Deshaun drawn. Guessed right, only picks up a yard. So these guys can play. These guys are both Strat veterans. Played many decades. I know Butch has. Gene's been in the league just about ever since I've been in the league. So these guys know what they're doing. 17-14 Saints lead. And they have the ball just past midfield. It's another end run, another run called by Butch. Loses 2 yards. So we saw the long pass, but then a couple of guessed right runs, and suddenly it's 3rd and long. And Butch can avoid giving up points here if he makes a stop. Saints go 3 wide. Stark stays in the backfield. Kendall Wright comes in. Everybody's covered by a 5, except for Starks, who's covered by a 4, and Kendall Wright is covered by a 0. So look to see if those guys get the double team attention, or if Butch plays it straight. He's not showing blitz. It's a short pass to Kendall Wright. He's being doubled, but Alex Smith says, I can still fit it in there. Right in between two defenders, he hits for plus 11, and that is a first down. Saints, another lucky roll, says Gene. Very nice guy, Gene. He's always humble, doesn't rub it in when he does good, and acknowledges his good fortune when something happens. Makes it a little bit easier to take. He's still an excellent coach, so he might just say lucky roll, but he's making good calls. So now 1st and 10 at the 37. Drawn's in the backfield behind Tolbert. Tolbert can run the ball a little bit too. I think he's hurt by the dampener, where 2/3 of the runs are limited by his average. Off tackle left to Drawn, picks up 4. That's nearly into decent field goal range. He needs a couple more yards. At 2nd and 6. I'm sorry, that was 1st down and 10 after the double team completion. So 2nd and 6. Let's see if he sticks on the ground or if he goes to the flats a little bit. Short pass to Edelman, single cover, 3-man in zone. No linebacker pressure coming to blitz. It's a must run for 9 yards. So that takes it down to the 24-yard line. Impressive drive here. Imagine the trouble the VooDoo would be in if they didn't get that 4-play touchdown drive in under a minute there at the end of the first half. It'd be like 17-7 with the Saints knocking on the door. It's bad enough that it's 17-14. What the VooDoo really need is a stop here, hold them to a field goal. They get the ball back, and they're only down 6. 3 wide now for the Saints. Looking past to Edelman. Single covered, guessed right, goes for 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Flat pass left to Jordan Reed. There's 2 men there. Even though it was a run call, it goes on the D card, defender -4 or -2, and he loses 4 yards. So nice call there by Butch, and that makes it 3rd and 10. So he just needs one more play to prevent this drive from continuing to have the Saints bring out their field goal kicker. Short pass to Jordan Reed, single covered. No chance for a sack, even though it's got to go to that little cut. I like this chart. I just wish they would cut that cut down. But it's a receiver reading for plus 14. Nice receiver hit. Gosh, those are huge when you land those. 1st and goal at the 10 now. Drawn stays in the game. He's got Starks and Drawn and Tolbert. Those are the 3 main ball carriers that he'll have. We'll take a look at the stats after this drive ends to see how they stack up. 3rd quarter, 9:36 to go. Win or go home. That's the way these playoffs are. Looking past the Tolbert. There's a 4 linebacker there, guessed right. Goes for 4 yards. 1st and goal now at the 6. Let's take a quick look if we can. That's the VooDoo stuff. And let's look at the Saints. Yeah, so the Saints' main ball carriers, Alex Smith obviously has some action. Starks, Drawn, and Tolbert. So 2nd and goal at the 6. Short pass to Marquise Wilson, guessed right. It's a pass call. 0% chance of a sack. It's got to go through its countdown. There's 4 men there, and he's covered by a 5. Incomplete. So that'll be 3rd and goal at the 6. Neither of these teams are free safety blitzing too much. They don't want to expose themselves to unnecessary risk. Short pass to Marquise Wilson. Double teaming Kendall Wright. So single cover by a 5, 4-man in zone. 24% chance of a sack. Greenway against Tardif. And it's not a traditional sack. It's a must run for 0 yards, which is recorded as a sack. The field goal is up and good. And the VooDoo will take over at their own 20 as the kickoff is a touchback. So there was a 24% chance of a sack on that one. And the random roll was 45. That was Greenway against Tardif. Then we had the field goal, which went really quick because of my countdown animation. I like this thing to count down, but I think I'm going to turn it off. End run right to Murray, so I don't miss plays like that. It's going to pick up 4 yards. Offensive onside in +9 or +4. And Donnell's reduced from a 4 to a 0 because of the formation. So the VooDoo have to feel happy that they're only trailing by 6. The long drive by Cam Newton at the end of the half, plus the stop there, not to mention the interception, has kept this game in reasonable reach for the VooDoo. Saints have had some good luck, but they've come up short a couple times as well. 5-yard flat pass to Murray. That makes it 3rd and 1. I'm going to keep harping on this Cam Newton thing. He really he needs a linebacker card similar to what a running back would have, guessed right, instead of your traditional quarterback card. And his guessed wrong card should also look like a running back. Linebuck to Cam Newton against the run call. And he loses a yard. Come on. Come on. I guess at an 11, I still want it to be a loss of a yard, but he needs a different kind of card, not your typical quarterback must-run card or linebacker card. His must-run card is fine. He's going to go for it. Butch, sensing the importance of this drive and not wanting to fall down by 2 scores again with this late in the second half, he decides to go for it here. The only problem with this is Cam's not a great flat passer. So what are your options? Running with Murray, guessed right. Trying to do another sneak with Cam, that's not going to work. Maybe it won't work. If he calls pass, it might work. Throwing a flat pass, even guessed wrong, there's some blanks there. So this is a risky call. And I love risk. I am certainly not risk averse, but Butch is playing good defense. He has all those 5s in the secondary. Not sure what I do here, but he's going to go for it. Short pass to Robinson, being double covered by a linebacker. Incomplete. He avoids the must runs by double teaming correctly and turns it over on downs. Now that's just as bad as an interception or a fumble in my book. It was a risky call, and Gene makes him pay. Frustration has set in. I can feel you, Butch. I know what you're talking about. Sometimes you just have to roll with it a little bit. You think if you have the league's MVP, he's going to have a little bit better card. When you have that kind of player running, so here's a short pass, guessed wrong. Man, interception split again, 3-man in zone. It would have still been incomplete with 4-man in zone, but Butch was that close to getting the ball back. And maybe a little bit less frustrated. Now he says the frustration continues. 2nd and 10. But anyway, like I said, I think Cam Newton should have a more impressive linebacker card. There, that's all I'm going to say about it the rest of the game. Linebacker to John. Guessed right, picks up 2 yards. 3rd and 8. I don't think you'll see Gene get too crazy here with this call, because even just getting a field goal here puts you up 2 scores. You'd love to get a touchdown. Maybe you try a flat pass here, try to get a white die 6. Nope, he goes for a linebacker draw. That goes nowhere as the guard can't make the block. Laurent Duvernay Tardif's his usual 4-run rating is reduced to a 0 because he was in 3 wide. So 4th and 8, he picks it up, and it's good on a 12 roll. Gostkowski nails it. Maybe that's on that kind of roll, 12, it like hit the upright and then went in. Anyway, it was a scary thing, but it 3 points, no matter how you get it. 23-14 lead by the Saints. There's plenty of time left. There's no reason to panic, and this is certainly not 4-down territory. So play your game, stick to your plan. That looks like they're stuck. So we're going to exit as well. I'm going to do a little sneaky thing here, guys. I'm going to try to restart myself. Okay, I'm back. I did a little restart myself to flush my memory so it would run a little smoother, I'm hoping. I have an SSD drive, so it like reboots really fast. Thank goodness. Highly recommend that setting, SSD for your boot drive. So here we go, 2nd and 8. I think it looks like I missed one play. Short pass to Woods. Guess right, goes for plus 13. 1st and 10 now up to the 35. Everything's good with the, looks like everything's good with the broadcast still. 1st and 10 now. Short pass to Kamara Aiken. Incomplete on an 8 roll on Newton's card. I'm going to receiver reading if it was guessed wrong. But you're when you're in a 3 wide formation, you're not going to guess run too often. We saw Gene do it once earlier against a run by Murray, but we haven't seen that lately. We haven't seen Murray running very much today. 16-25 for Newton for 206. And when your quarterback's playing that well, maybe you don't run that much. Guessed right, short pass to Allen Robinson, 4-man in zone. Incomplete. That'll make it 3rd and 10. VooDoo trailing by 9. Whoever wins here advances to the semifinals to await the winner of the Seahawks Tiger Cats game. That'll be played tomorrow. 3rd and 10 at the 35, 2:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. Short pass to Donnell, single covered, guarded by 5, 4-man in zone. And another incomplete. So as good as Newton's done, he's missed on a couple of key 3rd downs, and the VooDoo will punt this time. We saw them go for it on 4th and 2 earlier, and that cost them 3 points. No return on the 42-yard punt, and the Saints will take over at their 23. Let's take a quick look at the box score. The 3rd down conversions today, the VooDoo are only, and the Saints are only 3 of 8. So it's been rough going on 3rd down, which you expect with these two good teams, 2 good coaches. It's not going to be easy moving the ball. The Saints go 3 wide. Long pass to Kendall Wright against a run call, 1 man in zone, incomplete. Receiver reading by Alex Smith, but Wright doesn't have the best long pass wrong card. Let's see what Wilson was on a 9, just out of curiosity. He's probably their best deep threat. He's incomplete there too. Reed, we'll check him later. End run to Alex Smith on 2nd and 10. Goes on the D card. That would have been pretty substantial yardage, or at least potentially on Alex Smith's card. On Alex Smith's card. Third and 8. Remember, we saw that big catch by Dorsett on third and long, but he has been kept out of the game as Jean's going with Kendall Wright there in certain situations. Short pass to James Starks, single cover by a 4. 4 men in zone, must run for 8 yards. That'll bring up 4th and 1. But when you're winning by 9 in a playoff game, you're not going for it on 4th and 1, typically. 50-yard punt to the number 2 back. Butch needs to get the ball here and get some points. He'll start at their own 25 after the 7-yard return. The 4th quarter has begun, folks. 1st and 10. VooDoo at their own 25, sticking with that 3 wide formation. Flat pass right to Murray. Linebacker in zone. The 4 linebacker, Paul Kruger, makes the play. One thing you're taking away here, Newton's got 7 end runs. I guess they're not that great. They've been very good in the past. This time they're not that great yet. It makes it tough to end run from this formation. Off tackle draw right to Murray. Guessed wrong. Offensive onside guard makes the block. Trey Turner, who's usually a 6, is reduced to a 5, but that's good enough to match that white die 5. And I'll bring up third and 5. His 5s are wild. 5 makes the play against the white die 5. Picks up 5, and it's 3rd and 5. 14:06 to go in the game. The clock is just as much a factor in this as the defense is by your opponent. Short pass to Robinson. Being single covered, left alone a lot, and Butch says thank you very much, but even with that, he's not able to hit him. That'll make it 4th and 5. He'll have to punt again. The VooDoo have been kept scoreless in the second half. 2 third quarter field goals is all the Saints have been able to muster. As the defenses have tightened up, the offenses can't find the holes they did in the first half. Remember that we saw some nice edge hits by the quarterbacks and by the running backs, but those unlikely occurrences have stopped occurring. 1st and 10, Saints at the 32. They go 3 wide. That's a favorite formation here of these two teams, 3 wide on offense. Spread them out. Looking past to Jordan Reed, single covered, 4-rated linebacker there, picks up 2. We haven't seen too many white die 6s on flat passes today, despite these formations. You expect those to come up a little bit more than they have. Maybe one of those will be a big play later on. We'll see a plus 20 or a plus 30 or even a plus 16 that will help advance the ball for one of these offenses. If the Saints can go down and score a touchdown right now, that'll put them up 16 points. And that is very tough to make up in Strat in this short amount of time. Line buck to drawn, 1 man in the zone. Guessed right because of the white die 1, and that picks up 5. Without the white die 1, I bet you that would have been the exact same thing. That's the kind of card Drawn has. Not the best, but he's a decent receiver, so that's why you see him in there. Terrence West comes into the game. Now, West has a very good card, guessed wrong, but when you're only using him on 3rd and 4th and short, it's going to be guessed right more often than not. Remember, Tolbert can run a little bit too. What happens with the limiter is Tolbert can only run 4 yards. because he didn't get 2 more carries. He needed 64 carries to be unrestricted by that low fatigue or low carry usage rule. Off tackle right to Tolbert, guessed right, and that's going to be stopped. Nice call there by Butch. So that'll bring a punt on. A flat pass probably would have been a first down. He booms it 47 yards down to the 17, and that's where the VooDoo will take over. Let's take a look quickly at the ball possession chart. Look at the second half here for the VooDoo. Punt, punt. I'm sorry, that was the last set. So downs, punt, punt. That's what we've seen. Downs, punt, punt in the third quarter. He tries to go deep play as he was looking for Kamar Aiken on a bomb. Defensive back in zone. He had left the free safety home. Defensive back in zone X or long gain or X or plus something. If he had moved that free safety, that would have been a 29-yard pickup, as the white die 6 would have beaten the rating of the 4 rated cornerback, Jeremy Lane. So 2nd and 10 now, 3 wide still. Long pass to Aiken again. Guessed right. The 6 is still in the zone, and there's the linebacker pressure coming to help blitz. I think that's Kruger. Defender X or plus 27, and this time Jeremy Lane is beaten again by a white die. Is beaten by a white die 6. Defender X or defensive back in zone X is on the 9. So that was a fortunate roll there for Butch. Gets 27 yards, and the VooDoo offense is shaking loose a little bit. Short pass to Robinson, guessed right. 4 men in zone. Must run for 6 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 4. Stays 3 wide. That's what's working for Butch today. 9:54 to go in the game. The ball's at midfield. You need points here to cut it to a single score. Prefer a touchdown, but you'll take a field goal. Gene switches to a 4-3 defense. Short pass to Aiken. He's worried about the run there. 3 men in zone, guessed right. Interception split, incomplete. If he had been going deep there, could have been juicy, maybe. Well, that may have been that would have been the defensive back in zone. So it would have been a 6. Third and 4. Long pass to Robinson. 0 men in zone. Covered by a 6. The free safety Malcolm Jenkins switches over to cover him. Oh, wait a minute. Is that? Yeah, that's right. No, it's Vontae Davis that was on him. Robert Woods was covered by the 6. But the 5 of Vontae Davis was good enough to stop that pass. That makes it 4th and 4 at midfield. So Butch is going big. Letting it fly against this defense. And they're going to go for it here, 4th and 4. Big play here. This is where you wish you had a little bit better flat pass card so you could take advantage of those 4 linebackers. Flat pass right to Murray. There's nobody there. As long as this is not on Cam's card, we're good. But it is on Cam's card. The MVP of the NFL is the LVP at quarterback in Autumn Wind, as he has a wide open flat pass. Murray is waving his arms saying, hit me, I'm open. And Cam throws it at his feet. So that gives the Saints the ball at the 50. Tough break there. It was a great call. Defensive card, first down. On some other rolls on the offensive card, also a first down. Shane goes 3 wide, line buck to drawn. Picks up 0. It was a white die 6, so nobody was going to make the block on that one. $8:24 to go in the game. Butch is up against it now. He needs to get a 3 now, get the ball back. There's still Still time. He's going to get the ball at least twice more in this game, unless Jean chews up a large amount of time off the clock and runs right to Smith, loses 4. So there you go. That makes it 3rd and 14. It gives Butch a decent chance to defend. That's why even on that 4th and 4, you might want to punt there, because if this same drive was happening and you were pinned deep, you're going to get the ball back close to midfield. Even if it's on your own 40, that's a much preferable option than having to drive the entire length of the field, which is what will happen here if Jean can't convert. He'll punt it, and then probably, in all likelihood, the VooDoo will have to start inside their own 20. And with the way his offense is struggling in the second half, that's a big ask to go the length of the field. Well, let's focus on the job at hand here, which is stopping this Saints 3rd down play. Flat pass right to Jordan Reed. Interception split. Oh my stars and garters. If he was double teaming one of the wideouts. If he had been double teaming Reed, that would have been a pick and a decent chance for a pick 6. But here we have the special teams doing their job. They come in and get a block on a block punt. So Kevin Huber, his hubris was high on that one, and he thought he had more time than he really did. And in comes the VooDoo special teams. 7:12 to go. They get the ball back for their offense at the 38. Could this be the momentum swing that Butch needs to get him back in his groove? He said frustration was setting in earlier. Let's see what happens now. Frustration is changed to elation. He goes 3 wide. Let's see if he's going to continue to stay aggressive. Long pass to Robinson. He does. Covered by a 5. And there's still that 6 free safety. That's 6 free safety is staying home like 90% of the time, and he's doing a job back there, Malcolm Jenkins. 6:54 to go in the game. 2nd and 10. Short pass to Robinson. Butch is sensing he's not going to get double teamed, so he just keeps throwing it to his best receiver. But he's not getting much help by the rolls. It's finding blanks on the D card and blanks on Cam's card. Just don't know if this 3 wide formation might be more of a hindrance than it is helping, because you're spreading out the defense, but you're not running it, and you're always throwing against 4-minute zone. 3-minute zone, that would have been a receiver reading. And we know Robinson's got a really nice maxed out receiver card. 3rd and 10. Flat pass to Murray left this time. Again, the zone's open. It'll be guessed wrong. Don't tell me he's going to hit 6 or 7 on Cam's card again. Oh my, it doesn't, but it hits the only receiver reading that was an incomplete on Murray's card. 6 out of 36 chances for it not to be a completion, and that's what it hit. So 30 out of 36. You would have gotten at least some positive yards there. So that'll be 4th and 10, and Butch is going for it. Yep, he says it's that kind of game. The Saints are working some VooDoo against the VooDoo. Newton's strong day has turned bad. Short pass to Larry Donnell, single covered, 4th and 10. We need something good here. It's a 17-yard gain. The 5-rated George Iloka is beaten by the white die 6, and that's why you don't complain when you have bad luck in Strat, because you have no idea how quickly it can turn around. So now the VooDoo are back in business. That would have basically ended the game on an incomplete. Looking past to Murray. Single covered, picks up 4. 2nd and 6. The clock is ticking. 5:06 to go in the game. 3 wide again. We're set up to have another Alcoa fantastic finish. Short pass to Kamar Aiken. 4-minute zone, single covered, guessed right. Incomplete. 3rd and 6. It's time to play this music again. That's a terrible copy of the Fantastic Finishes. How about this one?
Fantastic finishes fill the screen. America sits up, leans forward, and pays attention. Since 1981.
Flat pass left to Murray. Picks up 3 on 3rd and 6. That makes it 4th and 3. Butch will kick a field goal here to cut it to a single score. Vinatieri's got to come through. He's a clutch kicker, though, and that's up and good. And that means it is now 23-17, a 6-point lead. He'll kick deep. So maybe we are set for one of those Alcoa Fantastic Finishes. That was a lousy way of trying to work the sound effects in. I have to come up with some better sound effects. Have them ready. 23-17. The Saints are back to a blocking back halfback set with James Starks. Now, we talked earlier about his fumble chances. He runs guess wrong here, picks up a short gain, 1st down. He has a 30% chance of a 3% chance of a fumble, and if on a guess wrong run, if Butch had called run there, that would have been a fumble. Can you imagine that, folks? If he had called run, which is, you would think you're trying to eat clock there, you might call run. The random was a 42 out of 1,000. That would get Stark's guess right is 57. So who knows who would have recovered it? Who knows how that plays out? That opportunity is gone. So 1st and 10 at the 34, 3:18 to go. Butch needs to make some really good calls here. Short pass to Julian Edelman, 3-minute in zone, guess wrong, incomplete. That's not necessarily a good call, but that's a good result. Sometimes sometimes your worst calls can work out for you. Sometimes your best calls just don't work. You got the guy double teamed and he still gets completion on the quarterback's card. That's going to happen. That's players making plays. And that time, Marcus Peters made the play against Julian Edelman. He swatted it away. End run left to Starks. Guessed right. 6% chance, 5.7% chance of a fumble, but no fumble. That'll be 3rd and 10. So one more play here, and the VooDoo will get the ball back with a chance to drive the field and win the game. The Saints go 3 wide. Kendall Wright's in there as a 3rd wide receiver. Short pass to Jordan Reed, single cover guarded by a 5, and again he hits 14 yards. That's the 2nd time today that he's hit that 14-yard receiver reading after on a big 3rd down conversion. So that'll take it down to the 2-minute warning. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Realistically, you need 1 first down here, and the game's over. There was a 32% chance of a sack on that one too, by the way, as Derek Wolfe was working on Charles Leno, but the random roll was a 98. So here we go. 1st and 10. John back in the game. Less of a fumbler. It's a short pass to Edelman. Incomplete. Oh, my stars and garters. That could have been big. Can you imagine that picked off? If he had 4 minutes zone, that would have been picked off. Ifs and buts. So we had almost a fumble, almost an interception. Getting greedy almost cost you Gene, Butch says. Yes, and playing short yardage defense cost you the chance at an interception, Butch. Should have put that free safety in the zone. Easy for me to say. Armchair quarterback here. 2nd and 10, 1:52 to go. It's not getting greedy. It's being smart. You need 1 first down. Throw 1 more short pass. Get a receiver reading to one of your max receivers. I believe Edelman's max short, so nothing wrong with that. He goes again to him. But again, he gets an incomplete pass. That would have been a defender X or plus 12, and it was a wide die 5. So look at Edelman. He was trying to hit a receiver reading. Let's look at Edelman's short pass card. Look at that. It's any number but 7 would have been a completion on it if it was a receiver reading. 3rd and 10, long pass to Philip Dorsett. He goes back to Dorsett. Are you kidding me? 58-yard touchdown. Gene says, greedy, take that. And remember, he was using a lot of Kendall Wright. Instead of going to leaving Dorsett in there all the time, he was only bringing him in when he wanted to go deep to him, I guess. But defender X or long gain, the defensive back is a 0, Gerard Powers, and he gets beat for a 52-yard touchdown. Nice, says Butch. Says Jean. So the game's telling him to go for 2 points. You got to go for 2 points. Can't be long gains. My, oh my. Alex Smith, you know, his reputation for being a dink and dunker, his 2 biggest plays today were bombs to Dorset, a 40-yarder and now a 52-yarder. Linebacker to Terrence West, guess right, 2-minute zone. +4, and it's a 14-point lead with 1:30 to go in the game, and that makes it just about impossible to come back. The VooDoo will need a big play here. Does he have a kick return touchdown on his card? Unfortunately, I don't think he does. He's not even going to try, as the returner just takes a knee. So 80 yards to go, and you have to do it with enough time to recover the onside kick and try a Hail Mary, something like that. 31-17. 4 wide now for the VooDoo. Long pass to Albert Wilson, 2-minute zone. It's going to have to go on one at Cam's edges, and it hits, +29. My, oh my. Spike it or take a timeout. He takes a timeout. Yeah, timeout's the better move there. Got to keep doing that because you need as much time as possible after you get a touchdown, if you get a touchdown. We saw the extra DB pull back. He does it again, short pass to Robinson. Robinson's got some juicy numbers if he can hit a receiver reading here, but instead it goes on the O card, and Newton hits one of his blanks. If Newton hits one of his edge numbers on a must run, that's like a 49-yarder. He could run it in from here, 47-yarder. Not quite where he can run it in, but he'd love to have it. Long pass to Albert Wilson. Intercepted, and that's the game, folks. So the New Orleans Saints win the Battle of New Orleans, and they will advance to the Final Four. Good game, says Butch. 3 knees. That's all you need here. I don't think Butch will even call timeout. He'll wave the white flag. And that's it. A really fun game. The big plays, like I said earlier, that's what decides these playoff games. And you saw we had a 52-yarder there at the end to cap it. But let's look at this. We had a 46-yard missed field goal by Vinatieri. That hurt when Butch got the variable field goal, pushed him back. We had a sack by Roy Miller, interception by Jeremy Lane that gave the Saints the ball inside, at goal-to-goal situation. A 31-yard run by Starks. That was another big play for the Saints. They had the 40-yard touchdown and the 40-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Again, Alex Smith Dorset, and the 52-yarder to cap it at the end, along with a 2-point conversion. That was huge. If you look at the yardage, the VooDoo and Saints were very close, but the turnover on downs, that hurt. That was 3 free points for Jean when Butch went for it on his own 27 or 30 or something like that. We really just didn't see a lot of consistency in the offense, but again, Cam Newton, he did pretty good for his card, 286 yards. He had the 2 picks, though. That hurt. So the turnovers were 2-1 in favor, well, really 3-1. Let's give that turnover on down. So the VooDoo turned it over 3 times. The Saints only turned it over once. So they have the exchanging of pleasantries. The Saints were afraid of a fumble because my team is fumble prone, especially Starks. That's absolutely true. Both coaches called a good game, I thought, today. Cam wasn't quite on his game. He did have a very good first half, and he hit a couple bombs that you don't normally expect, but uh, the Saints got the big plays when they needed it, and Cam's inconsistency, his inability to sustain drives is what cost the VooDoo in the end. All right, folks, that's it for today. My lunch hour's over, and I will talk to you all later.